Hello students, welcome to AIMS India online classes. This is a chemistry session. We are discussing about materials and things chapter. Already some of the concepts from this materials and things we have discussed in the earlier sessions. In this we are going to see the segregation or sorting of materials based upon certain properties. So out of them, one of them is solubility. It is one of the properties of materials. Based upon this also materials are segregated or sorted. An important property of water is its ability to dissolve many substances in it. Yes, water can dissolve many substances into it. That is a important property of water. No other liquid can dissolve these many substances as water. Water can dissolve many substances into it, but some they dissolve much, some they dissolve less into water. But anyhow, water is a only liquid which can dissolve many kinds of substances into it. Many of the solids, liquids and gases dissolve in water. Solubility of solids in water. Yes, as we told, water can dissolve solids, liquids and gases into it. First let us see the solids which are soluble into water. Some of the solid substances dissolve when placed in a container of water and stirred, whereas some remains undissolved. Yes. See here, two examples they are shown the substances dissolving into water, mixing with water. When a small quantity of water is added into water and if it is stirred, the salt will be completely dissolved into water. The solid salt will be dissolved into water. Salt example which we use at home, common salt, sodium chloride dissolves into water. Not only that, some other substances also, example if say sugar. Even sugar also nicely dissolves into water when we add a small quantity of sugar into water and if we stir it, immediately that dissolves into water. In this way, so many solid substances they dissolve into water, whereas some substances they do not. For example, say here sand. When we add small quantity of sand into water and if we stir it continuously, even after stirring so much time, this sand won't be dissolved into water. So in this way, these materials can be classified based upon the solubility into two types: soluble substances, insoluble or non-soluble substances. So in the solids also these two kinds are there. Some solid substances they dissolve into water, some they do not. Example for the soluble solid substances into water are sugar, salt, urea. These all substances they dissolve into water. Non-soluble or insoluble solid substances into water, example we can say here we have seen sand is one of the insoluble solid substance. Can we say any more? Yes, we can say pulses, grains, they don't dissolve into water, and even some small stones. These all will come under insoluble solid substances. Okay, solids can be divided into two types: soluble and insoluble solid substances. The solid substances that dissolve in water are called, yes, soluble substances. Example as we told, salt, sugar, etc. Urea we can say. These all are soluble solid substances which are dissolving into water. See here, they are adding some quantity of salt into it and they are stirring it. What happens? First salt will be appeared in the water, but after stirring certain time, that salt will be disappeared. Only water will be seen in the container. What happened to the salt? It is disappeared. We have to say there, it is dissolved into water. Those substances which are dissolving into water are called soluble solid substances. Okay. The solid substances that remain undissolved are called insoluble substances. Example, sawdust, sand, stones. These all will come under undissolved solid substances, which are called insoluble substances. See here, they are adding a small quantity of sand into water. Even after stirring also, it will be remained down. It settles down. It won't dissolve into water. It can be seen clearly. So what is happening here? It is not mixing with the water. That we say insoluble substance. Okay? So materials can be sorted based upon the solubility into two types. Insoluble substances, insoluble substances. In the solids also, these are two kinds are there. Water can dissolve a large number of substances and plays an important role in functioning of our body. Yes, not only in the external things. In our body also, water acts as one of the good working functional material. It dissolves many things into it and it carries dissolve to our part, all the parts. So, it is having good work in our body also. Do you know this thing? Water can dissolve many substances into it, as we told. That is why this water is also known as universal solvent. The substance which dissolves things into it is called a solvent. Many solvents are there, not only water. We say some other alcohols, some other organic compounds like carbon tetrachloride. These all come under solvents because they dissolve some substances into it. But out of these all, water can dissolve many substances into it. That is why water is specially called universal solvent. So in the same way, in our body also, this water dissolves many things into it like proteins, vitamins and dissolve. And it will carry these all to different parts of our body. It works, it helps in proper functioning of our body. Next, the solubility of liquids into water. Let us see here. When liquids are mixed with water, some get completely mixed and are known as miscible liquids. Okay? Yes, even the liquids also two kinds based upon the solubility there are. Some liquids they dissolve into water when they are mixed. Such kind of liquids which dissolve into water are called as miscible liquids. Miscible with water. For example, vinegar, lemon juice, these all will dissolve when you mix with water. And even alcohol, these all are called miscible liquids with water. They dissolve into what? They form one component. They seems like one component after mixing. They won't be seen separately because they dissolved into water. Such kind of liquids are called miscible liquids. Okay, here see they are mixing water and vinegar. They form uniform mixture. There vinegar is dissolved into water. Such kind of liquids are called miscible liquids. There will be some other liquids. Those do not mix and form a separate layer. Those liquids are called immiscible liquids. Immiscible means which do not mix. Some liquids they do not mix with water and they form two separate layers. They won't be mixed. Such kind of liquids are called immiscible liquids. For example, oil, any oils, mostly these are mustard oil, coconut oil, such kind of oils, they do not mix with water. Some petroleum products also like kerosene, petrol, diesel, these also they do not mix with water. When they are poured into water, they form two separate layers clearly. They do not dissolve even though you stir them continuously for certain time. Slowly they form two layers clearly there because they do not mix with water. Such kind of liquids which are not mixing with water are called immiscible liquids or immiscible substances. So in this way, in the liquids also there are two kinds based upon the solubility. Some liquids are soluble into water and some are not soluble into water. Those liquids which are soluble into water are called miscible liquids, and the liquids which are not soluble into water are called immiscible liquids. Okay? Next, let us see the solubility of gases into water. We have seen some solids and liquids. Even gases also are of two kinds based upon the solubility. We can sort them into two kinds: soluble gases and non-soluble gases. Let us see them here. Some gases are soluble in water. Example: hydrogen chloride gas, carbon dioxide gas, ammonia gas, etc. These gases are fairly soluble into water. When these gases are passed into water, they dissolve into water. Such kind of gases are called soluble gases. And there are some other gases, they do not mix or is soluble into water. Such kind of gases are called insoluble gases. For example, nitrogen, hydrogen, and neon. These kind of gases, they do not mix or they do not dissolve into water. They are called immiscible gases or non-soluble gases. Water usually has small quantities of some gases dissolved into it. For example, oxygen dissolved in water is very important for survival of animals and plants that live in water. Yes, it is one of the best property of very important property of water. This can dissolve small quantities of oxygen into it. The oxygen present in the atmosphere slowly dissolves into water. So this will be spread in the water. This oxygen is very important for the life of aquatic animals and plants. They take this oxygen gas which is dissolved in the water. These animals will be living inside the water. They do not come often to breathe out. What they do, they take the oxygen gas dissolved in the water already. So in that way, they will be survivable. So in this way, oxygen gas dissolved in the water is very important for the survival of aquatic animals. What is the meaning of aquatic animals here? The animals which live inside the water. They are called aquatic animals. Lemonade and other carbonate drinks are examples of gas dissolving in water, as these drinks contain carbon dioxide gas dissolved in water. Yes, we say some carbonated drinks like Cokes and Sprites, these all. What do they contain? They contain much quantity of water and they are containing some carbon dioxide gas also dissolved in them, which gives the taste to those. Okay, so in this way, here carbon dioxide gas is dissolved into water. This is soluble gas into water. Animals living in water breathe the oxygen gas dissolved in water. Yes, we told. The oxygen gas dissolved in the water is used by the animals living inside the water. They breathe this oxygen gas. And the carbon dioxide gas also will be dissolved into water. So, the plants live inside the water. Those called water plants use this carbon dioxide gas dissolved in water for their food preparation in the process called photosynthesis. Okay, in this way, the gases dissolving into water like oxygen and carbon dioxide, they are used by the aquatic plants and animals. Okay, in this way, gases also, some are soluble into water, some are insoluble into water. Next, one more property of materials by which we can sort this is flotation. Some materials, when dropped in water, float on its surface. Example, dry leaves, dry wood, feathers, rubber, etc. And plastic. These all materials, they float on water. So, some materials, when dropped into water, they float on water. Those we can say lightweight materials like dry wood, feather, dry leaves, rubber, plastic, these all will float on water. There are some other materials, when dropped into water, they sink immediately, they sink into water. Example, stones, iron nails, metals, glasses, and metal balls, these all and metallic coins. These all, when you drop into water, what happens? They immediately sink into water. So based upon the flotation also, materials can be two types. Some they float on water, some they sink into water. Okay. Do iron objects float? We know iron is one of the heavy metals. Actually, if you take iron piece and if you throw into water, we can observe immediately that iron piece will be sinking into water. It goes down. It sinks into water. Some materials in one shape will sink in water but float on water when they are in other shape. Yes. Even though materials made up of heavy metals like iron, sometimes they sink into water when they are in one shape. The same metals, they may float also on the water when the shape of those objects are changed. For example, if we put an iron nail in water, it sinks, isn't it? If we take a glass of water, if we drop an iron nail into that water, we can observe clearly that iron nail immediately sinks into water. If you put an empty iron tin in the bowl, it floats. Yes. In the same water, if you take an empty bowl or tin, if you keep carefully on the water, it floats on it. Actually, both these are made up of iron only. This is iron ball, this is iron bowl. Both are made up of iron only. But when they are in the different shapes, in one case it is being sinking into water, in other case it is floating on the water. It's by changing its shape. In the form of an iron nail or iron ball, when you drop into water, immediately that sinks into water. But the same iron, if you take in the form of a tin or a bowl, if you keep on the water carefully on the surface, it floats. Isn't it, children? So materials are of two kinds based upon the flotation: floating materials and sinking materials. So the materials that can sink can be made to float, but all the materials that float cannot be made to sink. Yes, exactly. Yes, even though the materials which sink into water, they can be made to float by changing its shape. What we have seen example here? Iron. If we take iron in the form of small pieces or nails or balls, if we throw into water, they sink immediately. But the same iron, if we change its shape like a tin or a bowl, when you keep that on the surface of water, it starts floating. So in this way, the materials which sink can be made to float on the water by changing its shape. But all the materials which are floating we cannot make them to sink. For example, if we take certain plastic, we cannot make the plastic to sink inside. Even some rubber and even some wood pieces, dry wood pieces, we cannot make them to sink into water. Even though it is heavier, if you throw into water, it starts floating. Okay. Magnetic properties. Yes, it is also one of the properties of materials by which they can be sorted is magnetic property. Materials that are attracted to a magnet are called magnetic materials. Yes, some materials they will be attracted by the magnet. Such kind of materials are called magnetic materials. For example, iron and steel are magnetic material. Yes, when you take an iron piece, if you keep it near the magnet, it will be immediately attracted by the magnet. Such kind of materials are called magnetic material. Even steel also, iron, steel, nickel, cobalt, these all will be attracted by the magnet. These all come under magnetic material. Some other materials are there like aluminum, gold, wood, plastic, etc. are not attracted towards the magnet. So these materials are called non-magnetic materials. Yes, see here, some magnetic material are being attracted towards the magnet. They are called magnetic material. What will be example for these metals like iron, steel, nickel, cobalt? These all will come under magnetic materials. Some other metals are there like aluminum, gold, and some other materials, wood, plastic. These will not be attracted by magnet. They are called non-magnetic material. Magnetic property of iron is used in doors of admirals and refrigerators and various electronic devices. Yes, this magnetic property of iron is used in some doors of some instruments like refrigerator and almirahs, admirals. So for this what they do, they fix some doors which are having metals and magnets in those. When you close them, immediately because of magnetic property, they stick. They won't be opened easily. I think you have observed this in the refrigerator doors. So there they use this magnetic property of metals. Next, conduction. Conduction of heat. Materials that allow heat to flow through them are said to be good conductors of heat. For example, metals. Metals can conduct heat through them. So they are called good conductors of heat. Metals are said to be good conductors of heat because they can conduct heat through them. If we take an iron rod, if we hold at one side, if we start heating at the other side by on the flame, immediately we feel hot in our hand where you touch the rod. Why? Because that heat is passed through the iron rod there. So we can say these metallic objects are good conductors of heat. See, these all are the good conductors of heat. All these all are made up of metals. These will conduct heat through them. So they are good conductors of heat. There are some materials, those that do not allow heat to flow through them. They are called bad conductors of heat, or also called insulators. The substances or material which do not allow or which do not pass heat through them, which do not conduct heat through them, are called bad conductors of heat, or also called insulators. For example, paper, wood, plastic, glass. These all are bad conductors of heat. They do not heat through them. So these all will come under bad conductors of heat. Okay, so that is about sorting of materials based upon different properties. Now on this, let us have a small assessment here. Let us see some questions based upon this. Which of the following is insoluble into water? See, which material is insoluble into water in the given? Salt, sand, sugar, lemon juice. Which is insoluble into water? Salt is nicely soluble into water. Even sugar is also nicely soluble into water. Even lemon juice is also said miscible liquid. It dissolves immediately into water. Only here sand is insoluble into water. Okay? The substance which do not mix with water is called insoluble substance. Sand is one of the insoluble solid substance. Yes, when you dissolve sand into water, what happens? Even though you stir it, after a certain time, it will settle down. It won't dissolve into water. It is insoluble substance into water. Next one, which of the following floats on water? See, which can float on water? Brick, stone, steel pipe, rubber ball. Which can float on water among these? When you keep this brick, stone or steel pipe, they immediately sink into water. They do not float. They immediately sink into water. Only objects made up of rubber and wood, such like a rubber ball and these, they only float on water. So here rubber ball floats on water. See here, when you throw a rubber ball into water, it starts floating. It won't sink into water. It floats. Okay, rubber ball will float on water. Next, which of the following does sink in water? So now we have seen there's an object which float on water. Now let us see which sinks into water. Let us identify here. Cork, stone, football, and a tennis ball. Which will sink into water out of this? Yes, it is a stone. A stone immediately sinks into water when dissolved in it. These are cork, football, tennis ball. These will float on water. Only stone will be sinking into water. Yes, if you take a small stone and if you keep it in the water, immediately it sinks inside. Remaining these all will float on water. Which of the following is soluble in water? See here, oil, salt, sand, and iron fillings. Which of these is soluble into water? Will oil dissolve into water? No, oil will not dissolve into water, so it is called immiscible liquid. Oils and other organic substances, they do not mix with water. Such kind of substances which will not dissolve into water are called immiscible substances. And if you see sand, just now we have seen, this also will not dissolve into water and it will settle down. Even iron pieces or iron fillings also, these also they do not mix with water, they do not dissolve into water. Immediately they settle down. Whereas salt, we know when you take a small quantity of salt and if you pour it to water and if you stir it, what happens? Salt will disappear. What is happening there? Salt is soluble into water. It dissolves into water. So salt is correct here. Next. Take two samples, one of oil and the other of water. Mix these two. What we observe? We observe that they are mixing or soluble. Oil floats on water. Water floats on oil. None of these. What happens when you mix oil with water? Which will float, which will come down? Or are they going to mix each other? Are they going to soluble in one into other? Yes, oil floats on water because oil density is density means nothing but weight. The weight of oil will be somewhat less when compared to the weight of water. So when you mix these two, slowly oil comes up. Oil will float on the water and the water will go down. They do not mix each other. So oil floats on the water. Thank you for watching our video. Please subscribe to our channel and visit our website. It is aimstoday.in for latest updates and recorded videos. Thank you.